Inshallah and Ashe. Blessings to you as always. Doing my Friday live on Saturday. We had a little rainstorm in Small Lake City, Utah. But I want to talk about a celestial event that's really going to shake things up in a way that we have not seen in a very long time. And honestly, I'm pretty excited about it. So we're looking at what I'm coining the airball collision. Minds and collectives transformed. We're actually looking at Uranus entering Gemini July 7th, 2025 at 1:48 a.m. Mountain Time in my village, and how it's going to collide with Pluto, already cruising in Aquarius. So this is not just a major transit. It's not small is what I mean. It's not the microcosm. These two outer planets are really gearing up for a profound, maybe prophetic airball moment, a massive download of collective thought and transformative communication. And Uranus and Gemini is where the mind expands. So Uranus being the planet of rebellion, innovation, sudden changes, awakenings. And Gemini is the sign of communication, curiosity, intellect, duality, connection. So when Uranus moves into Gemini Monday, I believe, maybe Sunday, early morning, actually, we're talking about a complete revolution in how we think, communicate, and really connect with each other. Even downloading new realities, the quantum field. So really expect an acceleration, like hitting the gas pedal, the throttle of new ideas, technologies, and ways that we process information, not just online, but literally within ourselves. So this could feel like downloading words directly into our consciousness, sudden insights, breakthroughs in understanding, complex systems, or even flashes of intuitive genius. Could be the internet, social media, even AI undergoing radical, unpredictable shifts. So it's about thinking faster, more intuitive, and potentially more direct forms of communication. I'm even calling it telepathic transformation, while true empathy or telepathy, telepathic information for everybody may be a stretch, but the potential for this vastly enhanced intuition, collective knowing is very real. So we might see innovations that bridge communication, the communication gaps, literally more effectively, perhaps even leading to like a widespread sense of shared consciousness or understanding without needing traditional words. We don't need to actually invoke words because it's already in the subtle energetic field. There could also be mental agility and nervous system overload, where our minds will become incredibly agile, able to just process information at lightning speed. I would even say nanoparticle speeds, quantum. However, this also means that our nervous systems could be in overdrive. It could be crucial to find grounding practices amidst this mental kind of whirlwind, but also questioning narratives. And this is like a 7-year transit. We're just going to kind of get a little glimmer and tap into it, basically. 2026 is where it's going to be in the core installation, basically. But Gemini, the energy of Gemini thrives on information, and we all have Gemini somewhere energetically. And I'm also going to bring in the subtle bodies that I connect with astrology at the end of the show. So stay tuned. But really expect radical questioning of established narratives, whether it's the media, even traditional education systems. We're going to be collectively seeking diverse perspectives and just new ways to learn and teach. So knowledge is nothing really unless you put it actually into action and utilize it to evolve and expand. Now with Pluto and Aquarius, this is where the collective transforms. This is where humanity goes through a massive transformation. So Pluto in Aquarius, which has been setting the stage since January of 2024, basically. Pluto is the planet of death, rebirth, power, transformation. And Aquarius rules the groups, humanity, humanitarianism, innovation, but also the collective consciousness. So Pluto's going to be transforming the collectives. And Pluto in Aquarius is already dismantling, rebuilding our societal structures, the power dynamics within groups, all groups, our relationship with technology, and these humanitarian ideals. So it's about collective empowerment and breaking down hierarchical control, the hierarchy, the control of the establishment, basically, the rules of established humanity, like what a great life is. There's also this technology evolution, revolution that's happening for us. So this transit is forcing us to really confront the shadow side of technology, while simultaneously it's pushing us towards revolutionary advancements that really serve the greater good, the highest good. I would even say our higher selves, or even expose those that don't. And it brings in the future of community. So we're seeing intense shifts in how communities form, whether online or even offline, along with how power is distributed within them. I feel like there's going to be more disturbance in the field of equality, where everybody brings their gift and purpose to the forefront. So I've coined this the air ball, the celestial air ball. So this is when minds and power collide. That really is the air ball. Uranus and Gemini and Pluto in Aquarius. So when these two air signs, Gemini and Aquarius, and we all have these energies within us, they're activated by these they're being potentized, even accelerated, these outer planets. So it's like this enormous air ball forming in the collective consciousness. So it's this massive, unprecedented download of mental and social evolution. It's a massive information, even an overload, but also a detox simultaneously. So expect an explosion of information, new ideas, ways of communicating that will challenge our previous paradigms. So this collision could trigger a necessary detox of old mental frameworks, outdated information. And Gemini is like the curious mind, and Aquarius is this genius, like an inner genius. I always think of Einstein, actually. But the collective mind power is becoming unleashed. So there's this potential for rapid collective problem solving and innovation. It's gonna be immense. So issues that once seemed insurmountable could really find revolutionary solutions through shared knowledge and networked intelligence. That's where the reinventing of education and communication. So how we learn, teach, and really share information, it's already going through this massive transformation, but it's utterly going to be transformed. So, just muse about or think about new educational models that are decentralized and highly adaptable, but driven by collective curiosity. There's even going to be, this is just my opinion, the hive mind evolution. So we might experience moments where it feels like the collective mind is truly merging for better or for worse. So this to me is telepathic transformation and communication, where it could manifest as rapid as a viral spread of ideas. Telepathy, it goes viral, both constructive and deconstructive or destructive, or even a heightened sensitivity to thoughts and feelings to the broader collective. The shadow side, of course, because we always have to have polarities, this shadow side of this air ball could be overwhelming, like an overwhelming sense of mental chaos, or that information overload leading to widespread anxiety, or even the weaponization of information, communication for control. So I just feel like it's going to be vital to discern truth from manipulation on that forefront. So what you may or may not expect on a personal level These are just my opinions, by the way. I'm just kind of sharing information. I'm really excited, honestly. But there's this mental acceleration. So your mind will likely feel supercharged. I suggest embracing curiosity, learning new things, engage in diverse conversations. Let maybe open your mind to a different collective or perspective. Even intuitive downloads, really paying attention to sudden insights, of course, those aha moments, epiphanies, intuitive nudges. So, journaling can be a very powerful tool to capture these fleeting thoughts. Communication revolution, I put a question mark there, but really evaluating how you or myself, the collective, communicates. So it's like, are we open to new ways of expressing ourselves? Are we truly listening deeper to others, even those with vastly different perspectives? So there's also going to be shift in these group dynamics. So just being aware of power shifts within your social circles, collaborations, community, society. So something to ask yourself would be like, are your alliances truly serving your long-term vision? Like, are they in alignment? But also embracing flexibility. So rigidity will be your enemy because two air signs, you cannot catch air. So the more adaptable we are to these new ideas and changing of information, the smoother this transit will be. So this celestial airball is really a call to evolve our minds, transforming our ways of communication, and really consciously shaping the collective future. So for me, I just feel like it's very exciting, albeit intense. It's a period of unprecedented mental and social revolution. So really getting ready to download, discern, and daringly communicate, like putting it out there. Like a new dish that you just made in the kitchen or something with a new flavor and some herbs or something that you've never tried before. Okay, so I want to buckle up and dive deep into this fascinating kind of the historical echoes, the echoing of Uranus and Gemini and Pluto in Aquarius. And then we're going to zoom in to the potent airball, what that means for specific areas in our lives. And then finally, arm you with some practical strategies to really navigate this wild ride, this course. I kind of feel like it's a course correction. But there's this historical content which echoes of revolution, radical minds. So when we talk about outer planets like Uranus and Pluto, their transits really last for years. They shape entire generations, societal kind of epochs. Just looking back really helps us grasp the sheer vital energy, the scale of this transformation ahead of us. So Uranus in Gemini, and this is Uranus in general, it's basically every 84 years. That's your Uranus return, and we're having more people hit their Uranus return over the collective, just living longer. So Uranus being the rebel, the innovator, this electrifying lightning force of awakening, where Gemini rules the communication, information, intellect, travel, the duality, and it's short distance travel. It could be even your mind traveling, basically. I like to say, stay curious and question everything. So when Uranus charges through Gemini, there's this energy of expecting revolution of the mind and how we really connect. So in 1942 to 49, that was our most recent transit. This period coincided with the later half of World War II and its immediate aftermath, communication revolution, the invention of the computer, the rise of television, and even the expansion of mass media, where information started to spread faster to more people than ever before. So there was kind of this global realignment where the world was literally carved up with new borders. It was also the beginning of the Cold War, the establishment of international organizations like the UN. So this speaks to Gemini's duality and the formation of new alliances, but also divisions. There were also scientific breakthroughs, the splitting of the atom, the dawn of the nuclear age. So there was a shocking kind of revolutionary scientific leap that forever changed our relationship with power and destruction. And then 1856 to 1866, this era really encompassed the American Civil War. So this is like the home front, basically. But there was communication and conflict. So there's this widespread adoption of the telegraph. And that really revolutionized how information and even the strategies of war traveled. There was the rise of newspapers, early war photography, black and white photos, all the things. And that transformed journalism into a powerful force shaping public opinion. So there's this transportation expansion and significant expansion, basically, of railroads and even fractured ideologies. So there was this period of intense ideological kind of division and societal fragmentation, forcing a reevaluation of our fundamental beliefs about freedom and unity. And then earlier than that, this earliest transit that I went back to, this period saw the American Revolutionary War, these revolutionary ideas, the very concepts of liberty, independence, self-governance, they're being radically redefined and communicated. So that was like pamphlets, declarations, speeches, which fueled a mental revolution. So the key takeaway for Uranus and Gemini over historically, it aligns with periods of intense conflict, especially wars concerning national identity or communication lines. So radical technology, the leaps in that, in communication, of course, transformation, how we moved around from horse and buggy to cars, etc. So these profound shifts in how information is disseminated and also consumed. So it forces a questioning of truth, and it blurs the lines of accepted narratives. Like, again, I always like to say, question everything. Sometimes a silent voice speaks more than words themselves. And then Pluto in Aquarius, looking back, this is approximately every 248 years. So Pluto is the planet of death, rebirth, the deep transformation, and the unveiling of hidden power dynamics. And Aquarius governs groups, collective ideals, humanitarianism, technology, radical innovation. So Pluto's journey here is nothing short of a societal metamorphosis. So 1778 to 1798, this was a very monumental era, truly the age of revolutions. America's revolution kind of climax, the birth of the U.S., United States, founded on ideals, liberty, democracy, collective rights, but also the French Revolution, a radical dismantling of the monarchy, the establishment of new societal structures, emphasizing both equality and human rights, though often with chaotic and kind of violent transformation. I always like to say after the chaos and the dust settles, that's when the growth happens. But also the Haitian Revolution. So this was the first successful slave revolt, leading to the establishment of the world's first independent Black republic. So there's this radical challenge to existing power structures, but also a beacon of collective liberation. So these technology, I just keep slumbering here. The technological seeds, while not as explosive as later kind of tech booms, this period really laid the groundwork for the Industrial Revolution, with early innovations in machinery, the beginning of a shift from agrarian to industrial society. Even the discovery of Uranus itself actually also happened during this time in 1781. So there's this rise of humanitarianism, and along with science. So there's this focus on human rights, the growth of scientific inquiry, like questioning the science world, kind of being puzzling, right? In a way, like putting the puzzle pieces together. I'm thinking like of DNA and stuff like that. But there's this push for universal concepts. So the key takeaways for this energy of Pluto in Aquarius, energetically, it's consistently marking a period of these profound societal kind of upheavals with revolutions against the oppressive power structures and the redefinition of collective ideals, groundbreaking tech or scientific advancements that fundamentally alter how we live and organize. So it's about power to the people in a technological kind of collective sense, but not without that intense dismantling of the old. So we have to break things down, fracture them, and put the pieces back together. Basically getting rid of what doesn't serve us. So the collision of Uranus in Gemini and Pluto in Aquarius, and how this hits your world, my world. I feel like we're ants in the puzzle here, but while a direct conjunction between Uranus and Pluto is rare, the last was in the mid-1960s, just really bringing about massive social change and counterculture movements. Their presence in air signs together is actually the key here. So both of them are amplifying mental, social, and tech revolutions. So this air ball is the collective mind being activated, transformed, potentially overwhelmed. So we're kind of entering a phase where the very fabric of our shared reality, shaped by information and collective power, is undergoing unprecedented mutation. So there's specific areas of life where this air ball is going to hit home. So this is where the grand historical sweeps translates into our daily reality. So really getting ready for these sectors to feel the electric current, even currency, communication and information. So this is ground zero. Breakthroughs, new forms of digital interaction beyond what we know as social media. So a lot of people AI generated content is just starting to become indistinguishable from humans because a lot of people are using it. So the conversation, AI might turn into your best friend. There could also be these hyper personalized information streams, potent advancements in brain computer kind of interfaces, even direct thought communication. So again, I'm saying, yes, there's this telepathic transformation that could manifest as ultra intuitive tech. So some challenges: the ultimate battle against misinformation and deep fakes, if you will, and distinguishing truth from illusion, that becomes paramount. Again, in Neptune, which I really didn't bring into this broadcast, but that is the illusions as well. And these all play out in ways, but I'm just focusing on the air ball. So this concept of facts is going to be challenged, and there's going to be this learning and education revolution where traditional education models are going to be completely disrupted and dismantled. So I would expect some decentralized learning, AI-powered tutors, virtual reality classrooms, a focus on skills, adaptable knowledge, over memorizing things, where we have lifelong learning. That becomes the necessity. I'm thinking of like people that actually do trade work, and different lifelong learning. That becomes a necessity, not so much a buzzword, like we're continually evolving and transforming, and new paradigms. So what counts as knowledge is going to shift. So our credentials might become less important than practical application or innovative thinking. I'm thinking of like people that got the certificate I guess is what I'm going with there. Um, and transformation, travel, innovation in that area. I mean, I always think of like the Jetsons, where we all have space travel. Maybe we're living in space or above the Earth, so the Earth can heal. So there's this rapid advancement in urban mobility. So I'm thinking like smart cities, self driving everything's, and possibly new forms of short distance travel, Gemini, like your own personal air vehicle, re-evaluation of public transit and how that even works. And then like access and borders, like changes to travel restrictions, potentially new even digital borders or concepts of free movement, even radical changes to how we travel virtually, where technology and AI still have this explosive growth. AI, quantum computing, and biotechnology, different ways of healing. With light and sound, I feel like that's going to be there as well. And those things accelerate at this unprecedented rate, like phenomenal, permeating every aspect of life. So this includes, of course, everything from how we work, how we date, shop, even how we think. But the ethical kind of dilemmas, the societal questions around AI's role and privacy, data ownership, and really what it means to actually be human in a technology, a techie kind of advanced world, is going to intensify. I feel like it's going to be more intense, not so much dramatic, but Pluto really demands that we face the shadow of our creations. What are you creating? And what is it good for the highest good or just for the moment of good? So there's also social dynamics and groups where we have these power shifts. So expect some ongoing dismantling of old power structures within communities, organizations, even your friend groups. Grassroots movements, they're going to gain immense power, often amplified by new communication tech, along with the collective consciousness. This is like telepathic conversations again, like in thought bubbles, but literally in atom bubbles. It's kind of how I see that. So there's this heightened awareness of our interconnectedness, but also the potential for extreme polarization as group identities solidify or they fragment. I always think of fractals when I think of fragments, things fractal apart and fragment and solidify coming back together. But there's also freedom of expression, debates around censorship, free speech, who controls the narrative is going to rage, new forms of protest, activism emerging, personal identity, mental health, mental agility. I'll get to that when I get to the chakras. But our brain's going to be on a consistent overdrive, capable of connecting these disparate ideas and learning very rapidly, which is going to then impact our nervous system. So this mental acceleration can lead to burnout, anxiety, a feeling of being constantly on. Learning to use our authenticity, being authentic and using our voice. So Uranus in Gemini is really encouraging us to find our authentic voice and expressing ourselves radically, where Pluto in Aquarius is demanding that this self-expression serves a more liberated collective, kind of stripping away any and all of those inauthentic layers. So there's this duality within. So with that, you might feel this heightened sense of internal paradox or contradiction, learning to hold opposing viewpoints without dissolving is key. It's like, again, questioning everything, all sense data that's coming in and just putting it all on the table and taking away the parts, the separate parts that aren't part of the fractal, and then bringing them back in. So navigating these cosmic air currents, this practical strategies. So this isn't about hiding under a rock, unless that's your grounding strategy. I will say I do use the elements, but this is about consciously engaging with these energies to really ride this wave instead of being swamped by it. So, number one, become a master of discerning information, curating your feed, whether it's, be ruthless about what information you consume and from where. Unfollow, mute, or block sources that constantly fuel anxiety or deliver skewed narratives. Like if I see something that doesn't resonate with my frequency, I literally scroll. It's like I don't want to go down there. And diversify your sources. Don't really rely on just one news outlet or echo chamber. Seek out perspectives from different cultures, political learnings, thought systems. Question everything. Do so gently, but still question everything. Maybe develop a healthy kind of skepticism and ask yourself, who really benefits from this narrative, or what's the hidden agenda? What am I not being told? But do so with a very curious mind, not a cynical one, like, kind of questioning it and kind of sit in the cosmic soup of it. Number two, cultivate mental agility and flexibility. So this is like embracing lifelong learning a new skill, studying a new language. Gemini is the voice, the language as well. Even if it's just a few phrases, and dive into a topic that you know absolutely nothing about. Just keeping your mind curious and open, and practice a paradox, like learn to hold two seemingly contradictory ideas in your mind simultaneously without feeling the need to resolve them immediately. This really builds some mental resilience, and kind of sit with it. You may even experience these digital detox moments where it's kind of vitally necessary to regularly disconnect, turn off notifications, putting your phone away, and really allow your mind to just wander without any constant external input. And definitely, number three is grounding your nervous system. Breath work, simple breathing exercises can be incredibly powerful for calming an overstimulated nervous system. I like to do box breathing. I generally do an inhale of 3, hold for a count of 3, and exhale for 3 and hold for 3. A lot of people do 4, inhaling for 4, holding for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. So whatever that is, just to really get back into your center. But also nature, connect to nature, get outside, earthing yourself, feeling the wind, look at the clouds, look up into the sky, putting your bare feet on the terra firma, the earth, the ground. Gemini as an energy can really get stuck in the mind, in the head, and nature brings a Gemini and this energy back into the body. But also movement. Movement, like engaging in physical activities, this really helps us discharge this excess mental energy, whether it's dancing in the kitchen while you're cooking and walking, running, yoga, really anything that moves your energy body, your physical body, the earth itself, your lymphatic system. And number 4, conscious communication and connection. So this is about listening deeply and really practicing active listening, especially in a world full of noise. Truly hearing another person is going to be a revolutionary act, but also speaking your truth responsibly. So Uranus in Gemini encourages authentic expression. So find your voice, but also remember that Gemini rules duality. So on the other side of that, we need to consider the impact of our words and strive for clarity over reactivity. And community building. Nurture those true, authentic alliances. Be part of groups that are built on your shared values and really contribute to collective growth, not just collective drama. I scroll past that myself. And Pluto and Aquarius, that's about empowering conscious collectives. This is where we come together. But even boundaries with technology, use technology as a tool, not as a master. And setting clear boundaries. Pluto is the boundary. Boundaries around screen time, notifications, what information we consume. Don't let it consume you. Number five, embrace transformation and shadow work. I'd be using this very intense period for deep self-inquiring, like the inquiring mind. What old beliefs about communication, knowledge, or community are we ready to really shed? And facing our fears. Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is a prime time to meet our shadows. So it's like, what anxieties do we have about the future of technology, society, or even our own mental capacity? And acknowledging them to transform them. So adaptability is key. It's the key to access. The more we resist change, the harder this period may feel. So just practice being adaptable, innovative, and open to radically new ways of doing things. So this isn't a time for passive waiting, my friends, those still tuned in or listening later. It's a time to be a conscious participant in this massive mental, social evolution that's unfolding around us. So energetically, just by understanding the historical patterns, applying these strategies, this is how we can harness this incredible air ball energy to empower ourselves and really contribute to a more liberated collective future. So now I want to talk about, of course, the 4 pillars, because that's kind of my elemental breakdown. So I really want to break down how this Uranus entering Gemini, July 7th, 1:48 a.m. Mountain Time, is going to, I coined the celestial airball, and I bring in the hours, my whole point. So this celestial airball event, as we've been calling it, is going to have some fascinating elemental dynamics. So if you don't know, reading these charts goes from the hour to the day to the month to the year. So for this particular moment in time, the hour is the yin metal ox. The day is the yin fire ox. That's our day master, the core energy of this movement. The month is the yin water goat. We're moving into a new month. And the year, of course, we're in the yin wood snake year. If you've listened to my Friday shows or my Monday shows, I'm always talking about how these elements play out. So I'm going to break this whole thing down, this elemental breakdown and what it means. So we want to look at the elements first and their interaction. So just looking at this chart, we've got a very dominant earth energy. It's very strong. We have the hour and the day, both the ox, earth element, and the month is also the goat, the greatest of all time, another earth element. So what does this mean? We've got 3 earth branches, the ox, goat, out of 4. So this is a very strong earth presence. Earth energy is about stability, grounding, foundation, accumulation, physical things, practicality. It's stubborn, resilient. It's very slow moving. So for Uranus entering Gemini, this powerful kind of earth foundation indicates that while Uranus, the planet of radical change and sudden shifts, is moving into an air sign, Gemini, representing communication and thought, the grounding and the practical implementation of these changes are going to be a major theme. The initial impact itself might feel slow or deeply rooted. This suggests that these radical new ideas will need to find solid ground to manifest. So there's an inherent resistance to impulsive, purely airy changes without the tangible base. Then we have scattered metal. It's weak, but it is present. So the hour stem, yin metal, this is the only direct metal element present. So this means that the metal energy, being all about structure, discipline, justice, Venus energy, precision, cutting away what's necessary. So with only a weak yin metal present in the hour, its influence might be subtle initially for Uranus entering Gemini. So this suggests that while there's a drive for precision structuring, these new communicative kind of mental shifts, the metal element is not strong enough to easily control this overwhelming Earth. So this could mean challenges in bringing definitive structure or clear rules to a chaotic influx of information that this Uranus and Gemini is bringing. So this may be a period of cutting ties with old communication methods, but not without effort. And then we have hidden water and wood. It's subtle but active. And our day master, yin fire, this is the core self energy for this day. So fire is about passion, clarity, expression, speed. The month, the stem month on the month, yin water. Water is about wisdom, flow, communication, adaptability. And then being in a yin wood year, the year stem, wood is about growth, initiation, vision, planning. And then the snake contains hidden fire, metal, and earth. The goat, the month, contains hidden earth, wood, and fire. And then the hour of the ox and our day contains hidden earth, water, and metal. So we want to kind of know what all this means for a yin day master, because that's the core energy that we always have to go protect, basically. So even with all this earth, the core energy of the day itself is yin fire. So fire needs fuel, wood, and produces earth, which is ash. So this craves connection and warmth. The water and the wood, while dominant, or not as dominant, their presence is there. So this signifies the undercurrents. Water provides adaptability, the flow of communication. It's Mercury in the elemental world. While wood represents growth of ideas, new ideas, that's Jupiter. But it's also energy vitality. So for Uranus entering Gemini, the presence of water in the month pillar aligns with Gemini's communication aspect, allowing for fluidity. Where the wood and the year pillar, this suggests that new ideas, Uranus and Gemini, are seeds of growth. But on the flip side, the dominant earth could either provide the stable ground for these ideas to grow or stubbornly resist them. So the yin fire day master, this indicates that personal expression and enthusiasm are going to be the key artifact to actually, or the element to navigating this transition. So as I've called this or coined it the celestial airball, looking at it through the elementals or the Bozzi lens, number one is grounded transformation. So despite Uranus's airy, unpredictable nature, this overwhelming Earth on this day, this chart, suggests that the transformation in communication and thought won't be purely abstract. It's going to demand practical, earthy application, solid foundations, and may even meet with significant resistance before truly taking root. So it's about building the new structures for new ideas. And the information overload needs grounding. And elemental grounding, I mean, we've all been taught to ground into the earth, which is great if you need earth as an element, but if you're an air being, grounding in the earth can actually make you feel suffocated. I talk about the elements and gift and purpose if you've tuned into that energy, but this information overload that needs grounding, because there's a clash between the fast moving innovative ideas of Uranus and Gemini, which is air, and the heavy stable earth. That points to the absolute kind of necessity of grounding practices. And we can ground into any element, by the way. Again, I said that already. So without them, this mental stimulation could lead to overwhelm and anxiety as the earth energy struggles to contain or process this rapid influx of information. It's coming at us so quickly. And number 3, slow and steady revolution. So Uranus is about sudden shifts, but the strong earth energy on this day might make the integration of these shifts feel slower, more deliberate, less chaotic than we might expect. So these changes are going to be foundational and also long lasting, especially if they are built step by step rather than a single instant explosion or implosion. And empathy and intuition are key. So the presence of water, communication, wisdom, and fire, expression, connection, the subtle energies, they guide us to really utilize our intuition and our empathy to navigate the complex information, the landscape. So it's not just about what we think, but how we feel and connect with new ideas. And number 5 is a test of adaptability. So the Earth's stubbornness combined with Uranus's unpredictable nature, that means that this rigid kind of thinking, structured thinking, is going to face those significant challenges. So those who can remain adaptable and flexible and find practical ways to integrate new information, they're gonna fare better than those that resist it. So in essence, while Uranus entering Gemini promises radical shifts in how we think and communicate, the Bazi chart for this exact moment, it's screaming to build our new ideas on solid ground. So it's a call to be innovative and open to change, but with deep understanding of these practical implications. And it's a need for strong, stable foundation. So there's this initial feeling about this energy. There's like a magnetic undercurrent. And I think I got ahead on my slides. Let me just check this out. Probably. But either way, let's go. So I did create a ritual for balance and grounding this air ball and a meditation. The theme in the ritual itself is nurturing fire, grounding air, and rooting change. The materials listed for this ritual are listed in the coven, but there's a focus, a strong focus to balance the strong earth and nourish our fire and flow with incoming information. Let's see, hang on there. There we go. So the celestial air ball, this is a journey through our energetic centers, but I do want to dive deeper before I get there. Let's go back here. So our day master, the yin fire ox, or just the yin fire, this is the us, the you for this very specific day. It's the central point of this entire chart. So yin fire is like a flickering candle flame. It's warm, it's intuitive, it's adaptable, it's a bit refined compared to yang fire. Yang fire is the sun. But yin fire is about illumination, connection, insight, and it needs fuel, wood, to burn, and it produces the ash, turning it to earth. So this can be easily influenced by strong winds, wood, but especially by the unbalanced metal, or extinguished by overwhelming water. So we're going to kind of flow into all these other pillars and how it interacts with this central flame. So the hour pillar, the yin metal ox, the stem yin metal in relationship to our yin fire day master. Yin fire controls yin metal. So this is a wealth relationship for yin fire. The day master changes every day, and this is kind of how it's playing out on this specific day. So this signifies that the immediate outcome or fruit of this hour, the energy of this hour, is related to wealth, resources, or the results of our efforts. Yin metal also represents precious jewels, intricate details. So there's this interplay of our intuitive and expressive yin fire is actively shaping or working on something that's precise, valuable, in this present moment. So this suggests that the immediate actions in the hour around Uranus entering Gemini is going to be focused on creating tangible results or discerning those fine details in communication. The ox in the hour in relationship to yin fire. So ox, earth, is absorbing the yin fire energy as earth is produced by fire. So this is an output expression kind of relationship for yin fire. Specifically, it's called the eating god. Output that's refined, thoughtful, often creative, really nurturing. So the interplay of this energy with the powerful earth of the ox provides a solid, steady base for our day, the fire. So this means our actions and expressions are grounded, practical, and have a nurturing quality. But the ox also contains the hidden water and the metal, which indirectly influence the fire, adding layers of wisdom, precision to our immediate output. So the hour pillar, these immediate energies are pushing for grounded, detailed, result-oriented actions related to communication and thought. So it's like our inner fire is trying to shape something tangible and yet very valuable. So the day pillar, which is the yin fire ox, in relationship to the day master, I already discussed the ox with the relationship in the hour. The ox earth is that direct kind of output expression. It's what our day produces, basically, is earth. So this means the very core of this day's identity is tied to grounded expression, practical creativity, a stable, nurturing presence. So this pillar reinforces the idea that despite these external cosmic shifts, the energy of this specific day is inherently practical and focused on bringing ideas down to earth, bringing them into the earth from the airwaves, basically. So our candle flame, the yin fire, is firmly planted in solid ground. This indicates a need for stability, personal expression, action. So this really doubles down on the grounded, practical, stable nature of our core essence, our being on this specific day. It's highlighting the importance of putting new ideas into tangible, workable form. Now let's bring in the month, because we're having a new month pillar, which I like to fill into the transitions and how that affects myself elementally. But the month pillar, yin water goat. The month stem being yin water in relationship to our day, the core energy, yin fire. Yin water controls yin fire. So this is what's called a 7 killings or direct officer relationship for a yin fire day master. Yin water represents challenges, pressure, discipline, and authority to a yin fire energy. So this interplay indicates that our environment or the trends of society, which come from the month pillar, bring a certain level of pressure or control to our personal fire. So it's like a soft mist, yin water, trying to dampen our inner flame. So this could manifest as external rules, societal kind of expectations, society places upon us, or a need to adapt our fiery spirit to a larger, sometimes challenging flow. It could also bring a sense of profound wisdom, water, or strategic thinking. And the branch, the goat, the greatest of all time, being earth as well, in relationship to the day master, just like the ox, the goat, earth, absorbs yin fire. So this is another output expression relationship. So this further strengthens the dominant earth presence. However, the goat is what's called dry earth. It contains hidden wood and fire, which actually roots our day, and it might give it a more active, transformative quality, more so than the ox. So this suggests that the environment encourages practical contribution, expression, potentially with a more active kind of hot energy bubbling beneath the surface. So the month pillar in relationship to our day, there's this overarching atmosphere of the month, which indicates kind of pressure and wisdom, which is the water that we must navigate while simultaneously emphasizing practical contribution, grounded expression, which is the earth. So it's about adapting our light, our fire, to external challenges. And then, of course, we have this snake year, yin wood snake. The yin wood in relationship to our day. The yin wood produces the yin fire. So this is a resource in a supporting relationship to our day. Yin wood is flexible. It's adaptable growth. It's like a vine feeding our fire. So this literally, it's a fantastic support for our day master, our core energy. And the year represents the broader context, the collective trend, our foundations. So the yin wood provides the fuel for our inner flame. So this indicates that the overall societal trends or our foundational energy provides sustenance, growth for our personal expression, insight. So it suggests that it's a time of gentle but persistent growth. Think of the vines, persistent growing, that feeds our ability to shine. And the year, the snake, also fire in relationship to our day. The snake has a strong fire energy, so it's supporting our yin fire day master. But this one is a robbing wealth, a sibling element kind of energy. So the energy here signifies connection with our peers, competition, shared endeavors. So the interplay here, the strong fire of the snake amplifying our day master energy. This means the larger trend of the year, Uranus in Gemini, Pluto in Aquarius, are actually invigorating our personal spirit along with our capacity for expression. So the collective shifts are going to provide the energy and the opportunities for us to shine our brilliance, our gift and our purpose, perhaps through collaborations amidst a highly energetic environment. And the snake also contains earth and metal. So you can kind of see the flow there in the elementals, I want to say. So the energy overall provides a strong support. There's a subtle grounding and refining energy of the fire. There's also nourishment for our own personal expression and our insights. So this is kind of speaking a period where our ideas can truly ignite and flourish and potentially collaborate with others. So elementally, the interplay of this whole message, just looking at it, the chart's heavily grounded in earth for our yin fire day master. This means our efforts, fire producing earth, are largely focused on output, creation, and building tangible results. So there's going to be a strong drive to manifest these new ideas, communicating them in a very practical, stable way. The challenge will be for our subtle fire to avoid being smothered or stagnant with too much earth. Our fire is supported despite even the challenges from the water. Our day master, the fire, the yin fire, is well supported by the yin wood and the snake fire. The year is supporting this. So what that means is we have this intrinsic kind of energy and support to express ourselves, bringing our visions to light, even when navigating external pressures. It's like honing in and staying focused. And the wisdom of water and the precision of metal, the yin water in the month brings an element of flowing wisdom, adaptability, subtly kind of challenging the fire to evolve. And the yin metal in the hour, that's encouraging precision and refinement in our output, ensuring that what we do create is of value. So the air ball meeting of the earth for Uranus entering Gemini, this air ball of radical thought and communication. So this chart fundamentally speaks these revolutionary ideas must find solid ground. And our yin fire, that's going to be the conduit, burning brightly to illuminate these concepts, solidifying them into something real. Despite the immense mental kind of energy, Gemini, along with the potential for this overwhelming information. So in essence, our day, the candle flame, the yin fire, on this day, it's burning steadily amidst this very earthy landscape, nurtured by growth, wood, and invigorated by shared purpose, fire, while navigating external pressures, water. And the output of our efforts, the earth, is going to be central, ensuring this airy, unpredictable shift of Uranus and Gemini, we have a tangible place to land and transform our reality. So that's kind of the energy there. So this is a transmission. Like I said earlier, I created an elemental balance ritual for Uranus and Gemini. It's going to be a powerful day to craft the ritual, especially given all that dominant earth energy of our yin fire day master. So even though we have this massive air ball of Uranus entering Gemini, Pluto, and Aquarius, a lot of air, the goal here is to bring balance, helping this abundant earth to nurture, not smother, our fire to flow with water and structure with metal, to grow with wood, all while staying grounded through this incoming wave of mental, communicative kind of transformation. This ritual itself aims for grounded transformation, clear communication, balanced intuition. So again, it's in both the workshop coven, also in the membership inside the Healing Academy. I even put it inside the subscribers hub on Facebook. All about opportunities, a lot of work. I had to slim it down because this is getting kind of long. So now, just to bring it in, if you don't know, I incorporate astrology with the elementals and along with the subtle bodies, the chakras, and the auric field. So there's some insightful, incredible associations with these subtle energetics. They literally add a profound prophetic layer to our understanding of this celestial air ball, along with this magnetic undercurrent, just connecting the astrological transits to the energetic body, the chakras, and higher spiritual concepts. So I just want to dive into this. I feel like I'm almost to the end of my show, but the celestial air ball, a journey through the energetic centers. So my intuition, I feel, is 100% spot on with this. When we look at Uranus entering Gemini, colliding with Pluto and Aquarius, and layer on these energetic associations, the telepathic transformation, it really takes on a whole new dimension. So Gemini and the solar plexus is mental empathy. And it's the elements of wood and metal. If you're part of the gift and purpose, that's kind of these elements kind of play there. But Gemini's nature, being an air sign, knowing that Gemini rules the intellect, communication, curiosity, the nervous system. So it's about processing information and making connections and understanding duality. The solar plexus, Manipura, located lower abdomen. This is our third energetic center, the seat of personal power, will, self-identity. It's the ability to perceive and really digest the world around us. This is where our gut feelings reside, where we process our sense of belonging and boundaries. It's knowingness. It's the connection of mental empathy. So when we link Gemini to the solar plexus, it's highlighting the capacity for mental empathy. This isn't just feeling what others feel. It often is associated with the heart center. But rather than perceiving and processing the mental states through thoughts and intentions of others, it's an intuitive understanding of the collective mind or even the individual minds through a highly cognitive filter. So you're not just sensing their emotion, you're intuitively reading telepathy, their mental landscape. So Uranus in Gemini is accentuating, with Uranus, the planet of awakening, the sudden insights, the higher mind entering Gemini. So this mental empathy function of our solar plexus is going to be incredibly electrified. So really expecting sudden downloads of collective thought, an amplified ability to read the room on a grander scale, even intuitive flashes about prevalent societal kind of narratives. So it's like our own personal mental antenna, Gemini, gets massive disruptive upgrade, Uranus, to pick up on the collective mental currents, the solar plexus. So you kind of maybe have to just fill into what I just said, come back and re-listen to that, because that's how it's beaconing, if you will. So this could manifest as sudden clarity on a very complex social issue, or an intense awareness of what the hive mind is truly thinking. And then Aquarius and the third eye equaling visions of the future simultaneously. So Aquarius is nature or energy or both. As a fixed air sign, Aquarius governs the higher mind, innovation, collective consciousness, the humanitarian ideals, the future vision. So it's about revolutionary ideas that serve the whole. Where the third eye, located between our eyebrows, if you don't know, this is our sixth energy center. It's the center of intuition, foresight, inner wisdom, visions with color, different than the crown. It's the ability to see beyond the physical. So it's where we form our internal visions and access higher states of consciousness. So the connection, the collective visions. So when we link Aquarius to the third eye, it points to the capacity to receive and formulate collective visions, not just personal intuition, but insights into the future direction of humanity, technological breakthroughs that really serve the whole, the many, or humanitarian ideals that can fundamentally change society. So Pluto in Aquarius is the transformation. Pluto, again, the planet of death, rebirth, profound transformation, like literally the death of something and the birth of something that transforms. Moving through Aquarius, this means like the radical shattering and rebuilding of our collective third eye visions. Old paradigms of how we envision the future are being dismantled. What we thought was possible, or what we believed was the inevitable future, especially concerning technology, society, and the collective power. It's kind of being stripped bare to the bare minimum. So this forces a rebirth of our collective foresight, just really pushing us towards truly kind of revolutionary, liberating visions for humanity as a whole. And number 3, the celestial airball as an energetic collision. This is really truly where this airball becomes an experience of telepathic transformation. Uranus, Aquarius's ruler in Gemini. So Uranus, being the planet that rules Aquarius, strongly impacts the third eye's collective visions. Moving into Gemini with our solar plexus of mental empathy. So this means this revolutionary foresight of our third eye is being directly channeled or applied to how we communicate, process information, even mentally connect with the world. So this is like an electrical surge from the future, the Merlin effect, third eye in Aquarius, directly impacting our daily mental and empathetic operating knowing system, solar plexus Gemini. So this is going to lead to some rapid mental downloads, intuitive understanding of complex systems, along with this acceleration. I'm thinking of a throttle and a gas pedal. Acceleration of how quickly collective thoughts and ideas are spreading. Now, Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, being in Aquarius, I connect to what's called the shaman's portal, the imaginal realm. And Pluto's nature as the ruler of Scorpio, see, this is all playing out cosmetically, celestially, but Pluto governs the depths of our psyche, the subconscious death and rebirth, the power dynamics, really unearthing what is hidden. I've studied with Cindy Dell for probably 10 plus years, a steward of her wisdom along with Malidoma, but in her system, the 8th energetic center, I coined it the shaman's portal, the imaginal realm. This transpersonal center, often seen above the crown, it's actually a gateway to the Akashic records, the collective unconscious, parallel realities, the realm where archetypes and potential futures reside. So it's the space where shamans journey to retrieve lost soul parts and or even access profound healing. So Pluto in Aquarius, the impact with Pluto here means this profound collective shattering and transformation of our access to and even our integration of the shaman's portal. So old ways of interacting with the collective conscious or unconscious, along with our ancestral patterns, even what we believe is real within the imaginal realm, are also being deconstructed. So humanity is being collectively forced to confront its deepest shared shadows, Pluto, related to our collective future and humanitarian ideals, Aquarius. So this could lead to a massive collective awakening to those hidden truths, a radical shift in our understanding of shared consciousness, even new ways of navigating shared energetic realities through technologies. That's an Aquarian expression. So in essence, the Uranus and Gemini energy is activating our solar plexus, mental empathy, with revolutionary ideas from the collective, the third eye, Aquarius's domain. So I really feel like we're going to be getting rapid, intuitive downloads of mental information about the collective, while simultaneously Pluto in Aquarius is shattering and transforming humanity's access and relationship with the shaman's portal, the imaginal realm, the deepest collective well of information, the library in the sky, the very fabric of the imaginal realm. So this means profound, often uncomfortable shifts in our shared understanding of reality, collective memory, future possibilities. So all in all, the celestial airball isn't just about thinking differently. It's about a complete rewiring of our collective mental and energetic pathways, urging us to perceive reality, connecting with others, and envisioning the future from a profoundly transformative, telepathic, and even shamanic space. It demands that we not only open our minds, but also bravely step through the dissolving veils of perception. For myself as a reflector, I feel like this is a very powerful time where the mirror, the fractals, are shedding insights and just really glimmering a very transformative kind of gold, the transformative gold. So with that, that was kind of a lot. Energy, my soul community, my friends still tuning in, as we draw our cosmic journey to a closing today. I hope this deep dive into these magnetic undercurrents has been a profound awakening for each and every one of you. I feel like we've charted the course for this incoming celestial airball, this electrifying collision of Uranus and Gemini, Pluto and Aquarius. Just really a force just ready to spark this telepathic transformation, redefining our very perception of reality. So we've seen how the cosmos is demanding grounded transformation, really rooting these revolutionary ideas into the practical earth of our lives, coming through the 4 pillars, the Bazi energies on this particular day. We walk through the energetic doorways connecting Gemini to the solar plexus, mental empathy, and really ready to receive unprecedented intuitive downloads from the ethers, basically. And we face this transformative power of Aquarius with our third eye, just shattering old visions, birthing new collective futures, all amplified by Pluto's journey through the shaman's portal, the gateway to the imaginal realm. So this isn't just a cosmic theory, my friends and guests. This is our personal invitation to embrace profound change. It's a call to shed the old skin, to courageously face our shadows, to reclaim every ounce of our joy, our personal power. Remember the elemental balance ritual as well, and the coven. Use it to keep your flame burning bright amidst the winds of change, to stay grounded, especially when the mental energies are soaring, and also to flow with wisdom that's now ready to be downloaded into your being. The universe is quite literally rewiring our collective consciousness. And as a part of this magical, beautiful, evolving soul community, you too, we all are, you are a vital conduit for this magnificent shift. So I say go forward, face this unfolding week with courage, clarity, and really radiate that inner light, that yin fire that only you possess, your gift and your purpose. I would say keep shining, keep transforming, evolving as always, and really go out there and absolutely slay it. So thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this message with anybody, any soul body in your soul family who really needs to hear it. Until next time, keep looking up and also keep looking within. And I'll, of course, see you on the other side. Ashe, as always, blessings. As I'm moving over here.